The Four Leaf Clover podcast is sponsored by Planet Celtic.
How you doing? Welcome to the Four Leaf Clover Friday Focus programme. Welcome. Got a few things to talk about. Firstly, good to see you again, Paddy. How's things, mate?
It's been good, Andy. I've been busy week there, so just glad to get round to Friday night again, get sit down with the good guys. So just had a frantic week there at work, but hopefully now that's all over. We'll be back to normal. So good to be on again tonight.
Aye. Yourself, Kaiser, how's things?
Oh, aye, amazing, legend. Happy Fenian Friday to everybody in the chat and that as well. Thank you for being here. I'm delighted, just like Paddy, to sit down with the troops again. Missed the Wednesday one, of course. Did a wee one myself earlier in the week, mate. I'm going to try and start something on my own channel and then refine it in and see if we can bring it to the big channel, you know what I mean? See how it goes. But living my best life. A good week. We won at the weekend. We've kind of quietly passed through this week, mate, which I've been quite happy for. There's not been a lot of noise, no even for the protesters. There's not been any noise. I've not heard anything yet. But looking forward to hear what's going on there.
I think there is some other stuff happening in the background. I'm sure it will come out anytime soon, I would say. Jerry, how are you, mate? You still rolling about in that big big pile of cash in your garage?
Remember, my missus watches this Andy show. You know, I've been
She knows it. You can't hide anything for them. You can't hide anything from them, mate, so you've no chance.
There's me thinking I'm buzzing because I'm going on a cruise on Sunday, you know what I mean? I'm off for 2 weeks. I finished last night. Looking forward to that, mate. 20 is going down for here, 16 is for here, and picking my mum's sister up at, believe it or not, she stays 50 yards away from Thistle's Grun. So picking her up on Sunday, Andy. And the bus came down, you know what I mean? So, well, but yeah, listen, I'll not spend a penny on the ship. I'll just take all the money off them at Cairns, mate. That's my plan. You know what I mean? Take the money.
You probably own it. You probably own the ship that you're talking about.
Look at that, mate. It's Andy's birthday. We need to sing happy birthday, Happy
birthday, Andy boy.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday,
Andy. Happy
birthday to you. Andy,
where's the candles? I've got about
50, mate. Are you? You get near about 50?
I've got one more year to go, mate, and then it's a big 50. I'm going to have a really good party next year, actually, so look out for your invites. And I don't mean yous watching, yous aren't invited, but the guys in the panel, yous are. I'm thinking about, Jerry, I'm thinking about going for a kind of 80s themed party, but I know you like your dance music, so I might make it kind of 80s, 90s to kind of go for the younger ones as well. And it should be good.
I'm on my way.
I'll be alright for clues then. That's my clues are all 80s anyway. So that's me, I'm alright.
80s.
I'm good to go, mate.
Monaco and everything.
Oh, excellent. Right, let's crack on. But thanks very much. I appreciate that. The birthday wishes, very much appreciated. Making an old man very happy. Let's just touch on the game of the weekend against Kelly. Paddy, you were on the post-match. Kaiser was. Kaiser, I'll bring you in once, Jerry and Paddy have to say your overall thoughts of the game. Paddy, obviously there was a talk of the protest. The fans weren't going to appear. Well, the majority we ended up worked at, I think it was PJ Dykes at the Axum had done a graphic thing and calculated it was like 75% positive on that protest in the favour of the protest. Obviously, you're going to have people that aren't taking part, and it's entirely their right, you know, how they're going to watch Celtic and what they do. But what was your thoughts initially with the protest and then as the game kind of kicked off and how it turned out?
It was good to see, Andy. It was good to see that the protest was actually well attended and stuff, and I'm glad there was no trouble because you know yourself, sometimes these things have the potential to cause a bit of friction and a bit of trouble. And the last thing we want at this stage is Celtic supporters falling out amongst each other and disagreeing. So it was nice to see that some people decided that they couldn't do it. They wanted to go on in, and that's absolutely fine. We're not about forcing anybody to do anything. But it was good to see that the majority of people, that's a good turnout there. 75%. That's a good solid message. It was sent to the board there. And it's I think the message was loud and clear that we're not going away. This is not just a one-off. The fans are not going away with this one. They've been let down by this board one time too many. And it's difficult because, you get this thrown at you all the time about, yes, we have all these millions in the bank, and yes, we're a fantastically run outfit when it comes to the business. But where we fall down is that these guys need to understand we're a football club, and when the football club and the football department, when your manager and your captain are having to basically come out publicly and beg you for help and beg you for reinforcements for the team, it's not a good look, Andy. It really isn't. So there needs to be some work done in terms of that. But just this protest is just the beginning of a movement. This will gradually ramp up. So if anybody like the Celtic board seem to be doing sort of like hunkering down, not talking to anybody, not coming out and engaging, and just merely hope for the best that it goes away, they're going to be mistaken, because it's not going away. The fans are demanding change, and they're going to keep going until they get change. The game itself, Andy, was great to see Celtic back on the pitch, shall we say. I can't say on the grass, but because it was at Kilmarnock, but it was great to see them back on the pitch. And again, the first half, again, it was just more of the same that we've been watching. It was dull, it was slow, it was too passive. There was very little intensity. The one shining light for me was Toneke on the wing. He looks a player, really fantastic wee player. Looks as though he's, as Brendan said, a real Celtic type winger. Wants to get the ball down. He can come inside. He can go out. He can take the man on wide. He seems to be 2-footed. Great wee player. Looks a really good player. And if that's the way he plays on that surface, I can't wait to see him playing at Celtic Park on the grass on a decent surface. So he was a shining light for us. So nothing really much to talk about in the first half. As I say, it was really, really disappointing and really frustrating. Stuart Kettlewell's comments about the penalty just sort of rankled with me a wee bit because of the lack of effort that they made to even engage and play in the game. Their tactics were clear. Just get the ball, get 10 men behind the ball, just defend and try and frustrate Celtic. Fantastic goal, the first one, brilliant play. Brilliant, great cross from Sarachi. Fantastic cross with the left foot. We don't see enough of that. That's the sort of ball that we were begging for Adam Ida to go for whenever he was out there. And he didn't get enough of that to go for. Fantastic ball, and Dyson-Maida just does the rest with a fantastic diving header into the corner to give us the lead. Again, similar to too many games recently, we don't put them away. We have plenty of the ball, we have plenty of chances, and we don't put them away. And when that happens, then you always run the risk of something happening at the other end, and that's exactly the way it turned out. The disappointing aspect for me was it was very, very clear and obvious to everybody, Andy, that Kilmarnock's tactics were very simple. Get the ball up the park. Let's get long throw-ins, get corner kicks around the box, and get a delivery into the box. That was the only tactic that they had. And for me, it was disappointing that we kept conceding stupid free kicks and we kept conceding stupid corners. And from one of those corners, that's exactly what happened. Fantastic delivery, and you've got to give the young guy Watson credit. It was a fantastic run, an absolute bullet header, and no chance for Schmeichel. But it looked as though that's going to be us. We're going to be dropping points here. But to be fair to the team, they galvanised again. They got together again. They showed great fighting spirit, and they kept going and they kept going. Listen, the penalty, you can talk about it until you're blue in the face, Andy, but Kettlewell made a great song and dance about it after, in terms of this meeting that they had with the authorities at the start of the season. But the one thing that I didn't like about him, and there was one or two other ones. Chris Boyd was another one. They all seemed 100% sure that the original shot from James Forrest wasn't going into the net. I haven't yet seen an angle that shows me conclusively one way or the other. But they're saying that this is why it should have been disallowed, because it wasn't actually goal bound. But it looked pretty goal bound to me. James Forrest is he's 6 yards from the goal, so it looks as though it was goal bound to me. How often did we talk on this pod recently about the penalties that we got away, especially at the beginning with VAR? We've already had one disallowed this season when Callum McGregor brought the ball down the edge of the box, rifled a shot home, and all of a sudden everybody in the stadium is absolutely flummoxed to see what they're looking at, and it's disallowed. So unfortunately for Kilmarnock, it was just one of those things. I think that when John Beaton saw the incident himself, he realised it was a handball. Probably maybe on the harsh side, but at the end of the day, for me, he did stop that ball going goalwards. He stopped that ball travelling towards the goal. So for me, it was a penalty. And it was just brilliant to see, Biggie and Nacho stepping up and just striking it away there with such confidence and such aplomb there. We said before that, yes, we appeared as though we were scratching around on the free agent market at the very last there. But, this guy, if we can get this guy fit and get this guy firing, I think we could have a player on our hands there. That took guts and took bravery there to step up and take that ball and stick it in the back of the net there. So it was just brilliant to see. What a finish. Just great to see after the disappointment of losing the equaliser and then to go back up and get the winner in the 95th or 96th minute. It was just great to see. And great for all the travelling fans, great for all the fans that were there, brilliant for the guys that observed the process or the protest, and brilliant for the guys who didn't. Just a great result. The main thing for me on Sunday, Andy, was that we had to definitely take full advantage of what happened at Ibrox on Saturday. We needed to get that 9-point gap opened up. It didn't matter whether it was pretty, it didn't matter whether it was silky football. All we had to do was make sure we got the job done and got that 9-point gap opened up, and that's exactly what we done.
Aye, absolutely. Well said, Paddy. Jerry, I don't know if you go to see the game, but was your butler away home by that time? The guy turns the telly on for you, or what, did you manage to actually turn the telly on and watch it? Or what was the script? What was your thoughts?
Hi, Andy. The telly was the work in the knee swing, Andy. I wish. Listen, Paddy could have covered a lot of there, mate. The protest. I don't want to say like fans really want to do a protest then, but they need to come up with something, don't we, to try and put pressure on this board, because they've just got away with it for so long, Andy. So you can see fair play to the ones that are out. But listen, if folk want to go into the ground, fair play to them as well. We can't sit and start falling out of it. So, but then you can't be wanting to be part of it. When you do force the board out, you can't sit and say, well, I was, because you won it. So it's a bit of both. So you pick your own thing and just stick to it. So, but listen, the board, I'm not wanting the board, Andy, to go out and buy £10 million players every window, mate. I just want them to get the signings in quick enough and cover. If somebody's going to go for 10 million and they bring somebody in for 3 million, then so be it. That's brilliant. But just get them in quick, get a replacement quicker. So the board have let us do that way, so they have. And as for the protest, I can understand the hangman, but I'm just trying to kind of hangman. I don't want the players to suffer for it, Andy. So I know buying the food and no buying the food, sorry, the merchandise is maybe a good way, but maybe not enough. But it's one of the ones, just the players have gave their all most of the time for us, for the last few years. They've gave us a lot of good memories. So as long as the players don't suffer and we keep the protest going as much as we can to put pressure on this board. But as I say, we've got to do something, because they're just fiddling along. I mean, there's like my man Daryl, they'll go on holiday now maybe 3-4 times to spend their money. They say, what's the point, son? We may as well try and go on holiday. So why is the board at their ages want to keep the money? Why do they fucking want to keep the money for what? Go and fucking spend it. Go and see where Celtic can end up in Europe. Go and have a go. Because they're not getting any younger either. They're not getting any younger, Andy. So I don't see why they want to keep this fucking money. Because you can't take it away. Just get rid of it and sell it and have good times. I would maybe better to see us have a bit of a good cut like them, maybe then just sitting doing nothing. Nah. I'd rather get a roller coaster up, some year then up and doing that and get excitement about the game. No. But as for the game, Andy, listen, all you can take for it, mate, is 3 points. We got the 3 points in the end. So Paddy says, Kelly, like most clubs in the Scottish SPL, they're threatening us with set pieces and stuff. They don't really do it much. They just look for that break to get the goal. But listen, Celtic, the last few games, Andy, it's getting kind of boring and predictable, to be fair. The goalkeeper, the centre halves, and the centre halves to McGregor played it to the winger. Listen, a Tati can play the ball, miss out McGregor and play it to the fucking wingers quicker. As Paddy says, one ball in the box, Paddy, you get a goal. Yeah. It's no rocket science. You put more balls in the box, you're going to get more goals and more chances, and we don't do it quick enough. So that's one of the downfalls we need to start doing quicker, is getting the balls in the box quicker. But as for, you're right with the new boy, Sebastian, Tanuki or something, Sebastian.
Yeah,
Aye,
Nick,
listen, it's a great first game, Andy, but I'm not going to, I'm a bit more observed. I don't like to jump in. I like to see this guy at Tynecastle, Ibrox, Pataudry. I like to see them a few weeks. Just like I'm not going to criticise the other boy, the other wing, the Belgian boys not got a good start.
Yeah.
But I say I'm not going to criticise him either as much as I'm not going to praise our boy too much. Well, hopefully, I say, listen, the signs are looking good. You've seen it there, it's very encouraging. But as I say, sometimes in AstroTurf as well, I feel the wee guys are quite quicker, they're even quicker and more sulky on AstroTurf. So I'll be interested to see in the next few weeks. But listen, I'm screaming out for that winger to take guys on and we've got them in. And it's just a pity, we wouldn't be in this position maybe if the board had sorted this out fucking at the start of the January, the summer window. I mean, it's to get so long, as Paddy says about Kalichi coming in. If they broke Kalichi in the first week of the transfer, they'd do the ball their arse. It's because it's back to Celtic typical. It's the timing it again, innit?
Yeah.
I'm all for. I don't mind. I don't mind any manager bringing in guys they've worked with because it happens everywhere. So I think if this guy can get fit, it could end up a good signing for us. Hopefully, it is. But as I say, Andy, I just take away, go to the 3 points, mate, and hopefully now with that we go at the end, it kind of gets a wee bit of me going again, a wee bit of momentum, and it helps a big striker as well. How things like that can just change. So hopefully it's all going to get better. But obviously the board situation's not going to get any better today, except a fucking apology or move on or anything. They're not even doing nothing. And they wrote that letter, Andy, and not one of them put their name to it.
No.
Aye, it's because they done it right. AI did, so they would need to put AI on it. That's been
Nobody
proven.
that belongs. Nobody
Of
that
course
belongs
not.
to them fucking put their name to it.
Aye. None of them can
You know?
come out and be very communicative in
No.
any kind of way, you know. And look, we're not asking them to come out every week and have a press conference and tell us everything that's going on in the club. But you need to say something. You can't just sit and say nothing.
Aye.
It's just an absolute joke at a time at the moment, mate.
Aye.
I think time will tell exactly what's going to happen with different how the actions are going to escalate and what the actions are going to be. But we'll soon find out and see what kind of effect it's going to be. But in my personal opinion, when it comes to the board, I think they're quite happy to sit back and just let it roll on, and eventually the thing eventually I think it's going to run out of petrol, you know what I mean, and momentum, and it's going to come to a stop, especially if Celtic keep winning and Rangers are still shite. It plays right into their hand, you know, because it's like, what you worried about? You're worried about a European result? Big deal, we're still in Europe. You know what they're thinking. They totally miss the big picture. Kaiser, you were on the post-match as well and had your say, but what's your overall thoughts of the game, like looking back on the game, seeing kind of different highlights again, and obviously Ian actually at the end, he's got a big set of gonads, isn't he, for his debut to come on and score the winning goal. He's got after an absolute perfect start, and I've got to be honest, leading up to the penalty, I thought he's not really done much, you know. All right, he didn't have a lot of time in the park, but it's the guy's first game. You've got to give him a bit of slack, and you're certainly going to get your support behind anybody that pulls on hoops as well, no matter whether you're happy with the situation is how they got there or no. But what's your overall thoughts looking back on it now?
Let me just a couple of things came to conclusions over the next few days after watching it back and stuff like that. And definitely when it came to the 12-minute protest, there would have been people in there who are bringing disabled relatives and people with children and that who didn't want to stand on that concourse. I can fully understand. As well as people who had been going, I'm not taking part in that. I want to go into the stadium and watch the game right for the start. I still want change, but I want to support the team for the first whistle to the last whistle. So I could understand that. Fair play to every last one of them. Fair play to the people who took part in the protest, and fair play to the people who went inside. In the overall game, I thought we were quite slow and ponderous in the first half. And that's the lads hinted to, like getting the ball to Netke fast because he was firing and beating people. Well, I seen that as essential, mate, and we weren't doing it quick enough. And that was largely in part to Rio Hatate and Ben Negren, who I just think they were just completely empty shots in that game. Just utterly empty shots. and they must have had about 5-6% input. Hatate just gets pushed off the ball far too easily.
Yep.
Just looking for a bit of freshness in the midfield, a bit of change. And we know we've got a player, Bernardo's calibre and Engo's calibre on the bench out there, just waiting, fighting to come in tooth and nail. So looking for a bit of change in that midfield area. Whatever way the gaffer changes it, whatever he goes with, change a lineup, change a formation, just some sort of change. A change is as good as a new sometimes.
Do you think he will, Kaiser? Do you think he will change it up to the point where he's changing maybe the whole three kind of midfielders?
Well, I think he will change the midfield up that much, mate, for the Kilmarnock game. I was listening to his interview in the press conference, right? I was listening to that just before I joined in here. And I heard him saying that he was actually giving the manager across the water a bit of advice. And he was like, stick to your vision, stick to your dream, your ambition. Because then if it goes wrong, there's nobody else to blame except yourself. So I think that's what Brendan kind of does. He sticks to his own ambition. He's going to stick to his own vision, his own philosophy of football. So I don't really see him changing the formation, but definitely changing the lineup, rotating a few players, resting a couple of players, you know, mate. Maybe they need that wee bit of time. The overall game, look, mate, any win's a win. In a couple of weeks' time, we're not going to remember how that game went. We're just going to remember the win. Maybe we're going to remember Iheanacho's penalty because he stepped up and showed a big set of cojones to take that ball and go like, I'm hitting this. A very make or break for him in his early infancy, his Celtic career. As you said yourself, mate, he came on, didn't really see too much of him when he came on for Maeda. I thought Maeda was working quite hard in the early stages of the game, closing the keeper down and stuff, initiating that high press very early on. But he faded after his goal and stuff. He faded out the game again as well. So really working on the consistency for the players to keep it going the entire game. And they got the reward, as Paddy says, keep them digging and keep on going for it. Kobe Donovan, I think, was fantastic. Considering the way he's came in there, like he definitely deserves a mention. And along with Tanetke, I think he was hat right in the ring for man of the match for me anyway. Instead of picking Liam Scales as usual. But that's favouritism towards Liam Scales, some will say. But for me, mate, it could have been better, right? But there's green shoots at recovery there. Like, I definitely, when I went back and watched it, I'm like, look, there's green shoots at recovery here. And that, like everything else, needs to be nurtured and nourished. So I hope we do get the supporters in there giving it full volume. And whatever the protests, the players can block that out of their mind and just take the support when it's there. And I hope we get the results we're looking for with the protesting sooner rather than later, so as we can go back to normal. But I'm like everyone else, mate. Getting into every transfer window and repeating the same process and expecting different results, that's the definition of insanity. And that's what we continue doing here. We'll get these guys leading the charge who can't even make a decision on a transfer. I heard people talking about it earlier on, about Luke McCown's transfer. And it was 200 grand was holding up that transfer, and our chairman couldn't make a decision on it, and he's the chairman. If he can't make a decision,
Kaiser, people are saying that Dermot had a hand in this. There's absolutely no chance he's getting involved in a £1 million deal.
He'd have been in his bed in silk pyjamas waiting for a game of golf the next day with DJ Khaled. No way, he's waiting up for transfers.
I think we know who's at fault here. A person who's been guilty in the past, the exact same thing. You can look back to John McGinn and or quite a few other ones as well, scrimping and scraping, trying to get bargains, and instead of getting the deal done, and they end up, they slip through their fingers and we lose out on good players. That it needs seriously looked at. And listen, there might be one fall guy in this that takes the brunt of it just for a kind of show thing. It's not enough for me. It's more deep rooted in that. I think there's a lot going on at play there. There's a lot of people that you could look at it and say financially, as a business, they're well run, but it's a football club, and they've got fans who invest a lot of money and expect to be treated respectfully. And I don't think all you need to do is look at a statement and what was put out in it, and so cold-hearted, no feeling in it, and it certainly was give your money, shut up and go away, and that. They saved a fair bit of time with just saying that, you know.
Said it earlier on, Andy, the Celtic board seem to treat Celtic fans like mushrooms. They keep us in the dark and feed us bullshit, mate. That's all we get for them. We're like shiitake mushrooms, every last one is. Just shut up and give them your money. buy the merchandise, nod and shout at the games and sing, but sing the songs we want you to sing at the times we want you to sing them. Don't support causes that we don't like, things like that, you know what I mean, mate? They wish we were all Karens and Kens, but we're not. Like I've said a few times before, Celtic fans are highly intelligent, some of the most creative fans in the world, and a global fan base. Yeah, that's for the flat earthers out there. You know what I mean, mate? A global fan base. So we deserve more respect.
Aye, absolutely. So something else that was kind of leaked. I think it's got what's that? Footy. What's that say up the top there? My eyes are away. Footy.
60th anniversary.
No, up the top.
Footy headlines.com.
Aye, footy headlines. Sorry, mate. I should really put glasses on to read that. My eyes are absolutely terrible. So this is the supposed badge. Obviously for the 60th anniversary of Lisbon. What you make of it? I'll give you my opinion quite quick, right? I think it looks all right. It's a bit, I don't know, it doesn't look too professionally done, but I'm looking at the writing across the top and it's very congested for me. I don't think it looks right. The font they're using doesn't look very clear. And it doesn't look right to me. I don't know how true this is, whether it is that or no. But Paddy, what's your thoughts when you first seen that?
It looks all right, Andy, but it's a bit underwhelming, to be honest. You know, it's not something that absolutely jumps out at you. And if you remember back to the one they brought out for the 50th anniversary, yeah. I thought it was a cracker. I thought it was an absolute belter. No. I don't never understand this. This need to write stuff in different languages and stuff like that there. I don't see why you just can't have something that says the 60th anniversary on it. And I would like to see the Lisbon Lions actually, I would like to see the team there named on that as well. Obviously not the whole team, but they need to put the Lisbon Lions on it somewhere along the line. I don't know if it's the final piece or whether it's just a draft or whatever. I don't know where that'll be changed or whatever, but for such an important occasion, Andy, like 60 years, that's a long time. It's a massive anniversary for some, and I think they could have done a bit better with that one and pushed the boat out a wee bit, maybe, and did something a wee bit more sort of eye catching than that one there for me. But like at the end of the day, I suppose you have to wait and see exactly what it looks like once it's on a shirt or once it's on a jersey or whatever it's going to be on. But for me, it's a bit underwhelming, to be quite honest.
I kind of get the same feeling myself. Kaiser, do you think you could do a better job of making a crest like that yourself?
I mate, the first thing I would do is take Hoopy out and assassinate him and introduce Lisbon the Lion as our new mascot. You know what I mean? We should definitely have that instead of Hoopy the Huddle Hound.
I know, mate. I know. You're spot on there, right?
And I think for me, mate, it's the emerald green in the background looks dull, and the gold looks dull as well. I like the shiny one when it was shiny gold. I like that eye catching. But yeah, Magpie guys, he likes it to be eye catching when people can see it. Yeah, that's why I like that Viacenza top and that, because of the Kappa signs gold and stuff on it. I love it when Celtic bring that kind of merchandise. And naturally, as of right now, I won't be buying any anniversary merchandise, mate, unless we get
even the wives.
Nah, even the wives, mate. I'm taking this to Jerry, mate. The wife's not even getting nothing. I'm sending her. I'll go put her in a big bird cage, mate, take a picture here and send it to the board. Like, I'm not letting her out. I'm not letting her out until you sack yourselves. Get out of my club, these are charlatans. Look, mate, I think they could have done better, as Paddy says. Maybe like the scripting, like you said, the font of the text and stuff like that, the spacing, and maybe included a bit more details like Lisbon Lions, mate. Just do a badge with every squad player's name, every Lisbon Lions name written in gold through the middle of the badge and something like that, you know what I mean? Take away the shamrock for once to make it just like a special individual, put the shamrock round the outside and have that as a centre or something. Make it bigger, there's 100 different ways they could do it, mate. But
it's not a shamrock, Kaiser, it's a full-leaf clover. You should know that, you're on the full-leaf clover pod.
Yes, true, mate.
Do you know what I think? I just think it's missing a bit of sharpness to it, a bit of detail. It looks as if it's been rushed. Somebody's just rushed it out.
Yeah.
Get Tony Hart and Moss to sort it out. Tony.
Jerry, do you like it?
Listen, it's like Celtic strips. Eventually we all fall in love with them. We always, first thing we always say is, that's shite, but we end up liking it. It's not really the badge for me, it's what it stands for, Andy. It's brilliant to see. Any chance you get to honour these guys, batter in, get it done, man, because it's an unbelievable achievement, mate. It still is. Unbelievable, the guys for Scotland. I know it's 30 miles and me, Bobby's probably the furthest, but listen, it's some achievement. And don't let anybody tell you the teams were crap. Real Madrid, Inter Milan beat Real in the quarters, mate. And Real Madrid had won it 6 years out of 10 previous. Inter Milan had won it 2 years before that. So, anybody tries to come away with the teams were crap as well. Fucking, what an achievement. So, any chance you get to hang with these guys, brilliant. Just keep it going forever and ever. Because what an achievement for the club, for these guys, you know. It's just a shame. I was just thinking the other day while we were on it, because I was thinking 60 years, Andy. Do you know Brendan Rodgers might be the last manager? I'm younger. I'm 52, coming up, and Rodgers 53. And I'm thinking, do you know what? He might be the last manager. I'm actually younger. You know, I'm getting to that.
Aye.
It used to be the players. I'm thinking, because I was thinking about 60 years already. I'm thinking, God, I could be older than that Celtic manager. And that could, you know, just be my thing, you know. But listen, I'm just off for 60 years, unbelievable achievement for a man, boy.
Aye, I think it's obviously never going to be forgotten, but, you know, you could go on and talk about the badge and then look at what other way they should be honoured, stuff up the Celtic way or whatever in other bits of the stadium. The whole, not just the team, but the whole squad should be involved in that and immortalised as they are by the fans, but in some kind of visual form. Kaiser, you've said it yourself as well. What should be done there? When it comes to Celtic Way, it's a perfect opportunity. And you can talk about the other part of the other footprint of Celtic Park. A lot of it is just waste. You know, it's not been developed in any way. You could do so much with that. And I don't just mean the Lisbon Lions, but I mean Celtic overall, the entire history of Celtic, you know, Jimmy McGrory and, you know, loads of faces throughout the past who have contributed to Celtic success. This is something you've come up with before and mentioned before, that it should be done on the Celtic way and utilise it and use it properly.
Yeah, definitely, mate. That's one thing that Paradise seems to manufacture is legends. I would love a statue of Tommy Burns, Fergus McCann, Henrik Larsson, to name a few, mate. I would love statues of all them. And Martin O'Neill, like, he's iconic when he used to run and jump in the line. You know what I mean? It's kind of hard to have a statue jumping, but I'm sure you can manage it with modern technology, mate. You know, I'm sure they can manage it. Seen this one guy up the town dressed as a statue who moves every time you put a pound coin in his hat. Get him up in the Celtic way. Get him sorted. Yeah. For me, mate, look, it could be utilised a lot better. You see these dream complexes that are built down south and stuff, and I know there's a lot more money kicked about around there, but everywhere you look, it's just their club's history, and whatever history that may be, they've got statues up of legends, and Celtic have that. It's iconic. That's what speaks to people all around the world, mate, is our history and what it means. It's part of your song and everything. If you know the history, it's enough to basically set your heart ablaze, and that's what it should be when you journey up Celtic Way. It should really be utilised and take advantage of what we do have at the club and the wonderful traditions and Brother Walfrid and all that statue and that. You should have a collection at the bottom of that where you're still donating towards people who are starving and stuff. So many things that could be done that they just, like I always say, mate, the board's trapped in the 1980s. They're very him to watch RoboCop right now. Michael Nicholson's watching RoboCop as we speak. He's in his house thinking fucking Ed 209's the most insane thing he's ever seen.
He needs a post-it note on a board in his office to remind him to watch RoboCop tonight.
Guys, a RoboCop, he collects the train tickets on that last train for Glasgow to Largs. You need RoboCop on it. Fucking mental.
Right, Paddy, you posted this picture on Planet Celtic earlier of the Barrowfield completion. Yep. And it's now open and ready for business. how many years in the making? I think the first plans were put in place 2019, planning permission 2021, and it's now been completed in 2025. And the purpose is for the young team and the ladies team, I believe, are going to be using that facility as well. I think what costs are we looking at here? Is this like 25 to 30 million? This is cost.
I don't know what the cost of it is, Andy. I haven't actually seen, because Celtic have been very secretive and very guarded about the whole thing for some reason. I just seen quite a few people, just even within the last couple of weeks, sort of asking what's happening with this now. What's happening? Has it worked ground to a halt or whatever? But you have to say it does look. It looks a fantastic structure and a fantastic building. I can't wait to see the video so we get a look inside it to see exactly what the facilities are like. But it's Jerry will say the same. When you think of we're talking about the 60th anniversary of the Lisbon Lions. That those are the guys that used to walk down to Barrowfield. They used to walk down from Celtic Park, crossing at the traffic lights and actually walking across the street. Like how mad is that? Consider now when you see the players, they're getting off the buses with their headphones on and their £150 tracksuits and stuff. So it just shows you the way things have changed. But listen, it's the way forward. It is definitely the way forward. We've needed something like that for quite a long time. But and that's this is the thing. As Jerry talked about before, this is if the board would come out and communicate a wee bit better, with the supporters, then we would understand, because that's what happens when you don't communicate. Then there's you create a vacuum there, and then there's nobody will come up with stories quicker than football supporters. That's what happens. People start.
Well, that's not Paddy. They don't communicate. We speculate. Because exactly worth the minute. Yeah, exactly.
So if they would just come out and tell us, listen, this is what's happening. This is why we've earmarked 20 million to build this structure here. We've earmarked money for this. We've earmarked money for that. That's absolutely fine. At least then we would know. We're not stupid. All we want to know is there a plan, or if there is a plan, what the plan is. How long is it going to take? How much money is it going to be? Stuff like that. So it's finally good to see the finished article of that, and hopefully that it'll be another massive coup for the club and a real benefit to for the young teams and the ladies teams coming forward as well. And who knows, maybe even the first team might get a bit of benefit from it as well. But it certainly looks as though it's another great structure to go alongside Celtic Park rising out of the ashes in the East End of Glasgow.
Mm-hmm. Kaiser, is it worth the investment?
Well, for me, mate, I think it's definitely worth the investment. We keep looking at the youth development and the youth setup and the B side and going, where's that next big Kieran Tierney coming through? Where's the next big player coming through? Well, these are the kind of steps you need to take to ensure that you've got that. An indoor training facility it's obviously going to be used by the guys' team as well in the winter. If it's snowing or anything like that, they're obviously going to use it. Or you just give the guys' team the day off training, I mean, when you've got an indoor facility and go, no, the Birds and the Wains are using that. Obviously, the first team's going to use it. Come on. Look, the ladies' team, mate, as I've said before, my friend was a goalkeeping coach for the ladies' team, so hidden inside knowledge of it is they only get something like 300 odd grand a year to run the ladies' team. Nearly every single transfer they bring in is a free transfer. Every single one. Right. The lassies barely even get paid 20 grand, and that's 20 grand a year, mate. That's under minimum wage. The lassies have got part-time jobs and stuff. The manager's trying to do a fantastic job over there and got us playing well with players that she gets for free. Them upstairs just refuse to invest. You've got teams like Glasgow City, they get £1 million a year, and the Sev Cows as well, they get just under £1 million a year to run their team. So, and the lassies are competing and doing their best over there. Any support they can get, any sort of upgrading facilities and stuff like that that's coming their way, they thoroughly deserve it. And if they can start, like I certainly took my kids to a lot of games, mate, for the ladies. It's a fantastic environment. You get your kids down the front and the ladies all come over and sign autographs and that for the kids. And it's really inspiring, especially for my young daughters and that as well. It's a really good thing to do to take them. And like, all right, maybe my boys won't play for Celtic. My boy likes the computer and my other boy's autistic and non-verbal. So he's definitely not going to play for Celtic. But maybe them daughters can do as a turn. You know what I mean?
Well, to be honest, they could be the CEO if he's like that.
Well, true,
sorry, mate. I didn't mean to have a big boy there, but, it's just...
We'll get him up there, mate, and get his CV in. He likes
Aye,
doing a couple of finger paintings and that on the window. Better than Michael
Aye.
Nicholson does. He knows how to answer the phone, mate.
That wee comment there, that wee comment there, you can see is from Davy Grant, a good friend of mine. Davy travels with the Lurgan Portadown crowd, so Davy's a regular on the boat along with myself. So Davy's been wondering about Desmond, Dermot Desmond. Is he going to sell his shares? So, Davy, I haven't got any information at all, but I can't see it, mate. He said time and time again that he's never going to sell his shares. He's going to pass his shares to his son. I would think that's it.
It's a nursing home business that he's involved in, Paddy, that he's in the process of selling for up to £4 billion.
Yeah.
So he's got stocks and shares in other businesses as well. That's what makes him a billionaire. So he's looking to, I believe it is, liquefy his portfolio. So he's cashing in some of his shares. I know some people don't know what liquidation and liquefy is, you know, it's kind of similar words. It's when you make your assets soluble and you can use them, you can utilise them. Like Donald Trump there, mate, while he was American president, he's a billionaire, but he's actually cash poor because he's set on a certain wage and that while he's president, he's not allowed to access his money for his businesses and stuff like that to try and keep him straight down the line. But obviously when you're the more you earn, the more you spend. So he's just spending a fair few quid.
So I hope that answered it for you, Davey.
Yeah, good stuff. Right, the financial figures come out just before we come on air. So
Say something, Andy. Say something.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
The boy Paul Boyle put up. He says the rooms up in that new place is named after the previous youth players, right? That's what he says. The boy Paul Boyle said that. Maybe they'll put Tommy Burns' fucking name to this then. No, I'm talking about, we've been hanging that for ages with Lennoxtown.
Aye, for Lennoxtown. Aye, yeah.
Just when you mentioned there, because Tommy Burns, you know yourself, with Decano, try to take players up there and try to sign players with that Barrowfield like that. So I remember training there as a boy, under 12s, 13s up there as a boy. You were sometimes weren't allowed to shoot at night because the fucking folk were stealing balls, Andy. That's how bad it was. You know,
I've been there myself with Celtic as a young boy. You know, absolute shithole. And then I can mind get up kind of later in life when the players trained there, and I used to go up in my truck and sit looking into the fence on my lunch break and sit and watch them train now through the fence. They had a bit of a wall and then a bit of a fence.
Was it you stealing the balls, Andy? Was it you stealing the balls?
No, you can't accuse me of that, mate. No, it fell off the back of a lorry. Apparently, the boys.
Maybe Tommy Burns. We even spoke to his boy about it, and the family's not got a problem with it either. Remember, so we were quite confused why they're not doing it. And Jonathan said himself, they've got nothing against getting the name about. So maybe Celtic will do it this time, but I don't know why it's a problem.
Yeah.
So hopefully that maybe we'll see what happens there.
They need to do, Jerry. They need to do something, Jerry, because there would never have been a Lennoxtown if it hadn't been for Tommy Burns, and it just would never have been.
We know that.
Go back 30 years ago. Tommy Burns was one of the first coaches from the UK to go out and look at the Dutch setup. He went out and spent time with Ajax, and he was in Belgium as well. He was looking at how those academies, like Tommy Burns had that vision and foresight. Now every single club in the country has them. But Tommy Burns recognised that all those years ago, and as I say, that to me, it's a bit of an affront. It's a bit of an affront from the club that's not called. That should be called the Tommy Burns Training Centre. There's absolutely no question about that. The amount of input that man had, the amount of vision that he had, and it was his idea. It was his baby. And for me, that's the biggest thing that Celtic could do. If they are looking to get the fans back on side, there's nothing quicker than put something in that in motion there and get that named the Tommy Burns Training Centre.
100%, Paddy. 100%, mate.
Aye. I was just going to touch on the financial. Sorry, Jerry, I actually made a company about the Barrowfield thing, but if you anything else to say on it?
Oh, listen, it's all good, listen, the youth players, you've got to get in there young and start producing. We've got to start producing better players, Andy. We all talked about Club Brugge. One player goes in, one comes out. Just as Copenhagen, all these teams seem to be doing well and they've not got the same kind of money. So we really need to start upping this. I'm not going to go down the coaches, but sometimes you're sending 20 guys up to these places, Andy. You're wasting a lot of coaches' time and a lot of parents' time because some of them are not good enough. You can't just send 20 young boys up for Dross, Saltcoats, Stevenson, because you're not got 20 guys. So for me, I would limit the bodies so the coaches can give quality time to quality players. I'd have the best player in Glasgow, best player in Edinburgh, best player in Ayrshire. I would have 11, 12, 15 guys training at Celtic 24/7.
The best of the
That's what I
best.
would do.
Yep.
Aye, because this 12 guys for Drawson, when we were younger, clubs came and watched you. Kilmarnock came and watched you for a year before they came and took you. Now they come down Kilmarnock and Ayr United go, you, up to Ayr United and Kilmarnock. So for me personally, it's wasting a lot of parents' time because they're running about doing a lot of work. You always take your kids, fair play, but they're not good enough. Half of them are not good enough. So for me, I'd like to see more quality, maybe 10, 15 quality guys for the best player in Edinburgh, Andy, Aberdeen, Dundee, Glasgow, Ayrshire, Dumfries. I'd like to see 12 or 15 of these boys at every level. And we'll see them coming through. No better quality players than that. So
well, I suppose a good sign is you're obviously seeing Dane Murray get a bit more game time and young Donovan as well, who's come in. Obviously, probably want to get much opportunity if there wasn't the injury to AJ and Ralston, but that's how KT get his chance, through injury. And sometimes it just takes that wee bit of luck to get your opportunity. I think he's done really well, Donovan. So I think we know we've got good players there. It seems to be in recent times that our best players are leaving the club before we actually get a chance to see them. Other clubs are snapping them up. That's something that's got to stop. We've got to get players' contracts sorted out well before time. If you think they're good enough to make a grade at Celtic, then you make sure that their contract's not running down to the last 6 months or whatever it is, and then they'll start talking to other clubs. You've got to really keep a hold of your assets. And the club, they see them as assets because they think if they invest a wee bit of money in them, bring them through, first team player, Champions League, they sell them on and they make a profit that way as well. The same way they do when they're buying in cheap players and selling them, like Matt O'Reilly, and selling them for nearly 30 million. But I think it's good to see, you're starting to see a couple of wee players coming through now, which is really good. I think that's what we want. You want to see more homegrown talent at Celtic. So a bit of positivity there, I suppose. But hopefully, these things take time as well. Once you get the whole infrastructure in place, it does take time for them to start filtering through. But I think we've really failed in that department for quite a number of years overall. Aye. Right, Jerry, you good for your quiz now, mate?
So he's ready for quiz now, is it?
Yep.
Hey, bother me. He's all ready to go, aye?
I think it's quiz time. No, I've not done the thing. No, you need to wait the now, wait.
It's Jerry's big fat quiz.
Can't I have it without that?
Oh, I was about to do it there. If it wasn't coming, I was going to do it.
Andy, Paddy, and Kaiser. He's all your pen and paper, Kaiser. You get your phone off because we know you're the biggest cheater.
My pen's just run out. Hold on, I've got another one. I've got a blue pen. I don't really want to use that, but needs must.
Get a pencil.
I've got it now. It's all right.
So I can rub it out and change it.
So, are you ready to go, lads?
Yes. 10, that's it. 10 questions.
10 questions as usual. Yes, I've done the pod already.
Comments off, mind. Comments off.
Oh, yes.
Here we go. Comments. I don't get to see the comment. Here we go. All right, lads.
Yep.
Maybe no his second name. I'm not the great at names, Andy. Me, you panic when Celtic bring in players with funny names. We like them just Big Jim and Davy and stuff like that.
Shock.
So I'll go with Sebastian. Number one,
right.
Sebastian Tanukte, is it?
Yep.
In what country was Sebastian Tanukte? In what country was he born? Was it A, Tunisia, B, Sweden, or C, Norway? So what country was he born? Okay.
Yep.
Have a wee quiz on a Friday night. I used to like Friends and all that, but I like a quiz now. So we'll start with you, Andy. What's your answer, pal?
I've went for Norway.
And Paddy,
Yeah, Norway for me too, Jerry.
Liza.
Norway, my man.
Well done, lads. Plays with Tunisia, but he was born in Norway, Tromsø. Well done. Number 2, lads. Celtic paid around 4.8 million for Joosvo Haren. Who was the Belgian club Celtic signed him from? Do you need the free hingmies, or do you know who it is? Do you want
we
to try
need
and
them.
get it yourselves?
No, give
Or
us
do you want the free?
give us the choices.
Okay, Paddy. If my Paddy wants free chingmies, he gets it. That's what happens. I'm going to go, Paddy. You ready? Put the other two in mic so you hear it yourself, Paddy. So A, Club Bruges, B, Mechelen, or C, Roda JC. So there you go, lads. 4.8 million for Joosvo Haren after the World Cup member, the great World Cup member. So he did the cracking World Cup.
What's the teams
So
again?
Celtic signed him from A, Club Bruges, B, Mechelen, or C, Roda JC. I'll give you a clue, lads. He's played for all 3 clubs.
Okay.
And we'll start with you, Kaiser.
I went for Roda JC.
Paddy,
Yep. I went for Roda as well.
Andy.
Yes, I went for Roda.
Yeah. Well done, lads. The answer is
Everybody
Roda
likes a Roda.
JC. Well done. From which English club did Neil Lennon make his senior debut? He's wanting to hang me 3 clues
Yes,
up.
please, Jerry.
So Neil Lennon made his senior debut for which English club? Wycombe Wanderers, Crewe Alexander, or Man City?
Oh. Oh.
No, I like to
no,
do a bit of studying on the clubs.
I know. That really got me there because it had me. But I think I know.
And we'll go with you, Paddy.
I went for Crewe Alexandra, Jerry.
Andy.
I also have went for Crewe. I know he was at Man City right enough, wasn't he?
Kaiser.
I also went for Crewe as well, my man.
Lads, the answer is Manchester City. He played 1 game in the 30th of April in a league match against Birmingham City FC. So he played 1 game for Man City. Then that was nearly the last game of the season, last couple of games of the season. Then I think he didn't play. That was him. He got released and signed for Crewe, Andy. That's when he made his kind of self before he went to Leicester.
Good question, Jerry.
Boys. Number 4, lads. How many clubs is Casper Schmeichel signed for? So I'm not including the loan teams. But how many clubs is Schmeichel signed for? Is it 5, 6, or 7 clubs is he signed for?
Just obviously just a mad guess, innit? Definitely, but aye. 1, 2, 3. Oh, right, okay.
So we'll start with Kaiser. Kaiser, can't hear you, buddy. 5.
Sorry, bro. I went for 5.
5, pal. Rainy Borough, Kaiser. Paddy.
I went for 6, Jerry.
6. Andy.
I knew it was either 5, 6, or 7, right? So I've just went for 6.
So, lads, the answer is 7 clubs.
Wow.
Man City, Notts County, Leeds United, Leicester, Nice, Anderlecht, and Celtic. So, shows you. So, number 5, lads. Name the 3 Celtic managers who have managed Aston Villa as well. 3-pointer.
Okay.
Name the 3 Celtic managers who have managed Aston Villa as well.
Oh. Celtic managers.
Yeah.
There's 3 of them, Andy. 3 Celtic managers have managed Celtic and Aston Villa. Get the old thinking cap on. Eh?
I've definitely got 2.
Aye. Think about it. See, all these questions I ask you is just off the top of my head, all these ones, you know what I mean? I'll give you 2 seconds. Just 2 seconds, right? You think about
Manager. Are you stuck on 2, I know?
Yeah.
that. Kick yourselves, lads. So you will. Kick yourselves. So you will. You kick yourselves. Hurry up, because by the time, if guys is watching that chat, guys will get the freedom eventually.
It's one of the ones you don't want to give up because you know it's going to be pretty obvious when you.
Aye, it is. There's two obvious straight away.
Aye.
So, you ready to go, lads? Time's up.
Yep.
Aye.
Kaiser, what's your free, pal? You're muted again, mate.
Mate, I could only think of 2, sorry, bro. I thought Mowbray and Martin O'Neill.
That Tony Mowbray was the Aston Villa, mate. So you get 1 there. You get 1 point for Martin O'Neill, mate, right? Andy,
Big Billy McNeil and Martin O'Neill.
you get 2 there, Andy boy. Get Paddy.
I went for Martin O'Neill, Big Billy McNeil, and Joseph Venglos. And that's just
Paddy, well done, son. Joseph Venglos.
Oh,
Paddy,
no,
you
wait,
beat
well done,
points.
Paddy, man. That's.
Paddy's playing his poker face, kid. No, you only get 2 and all that. His poker face.
And I get to blame my cheating.
You know this. I actually got wee Joseph Venglos before I thought about the other 2. The 2 were obvious, but actually he was the first one that came to mind. And then I remember Big Billy went. Was Big Billy not only there for? Was Big Billy not only there for 44 days or something? Was that?
We didn't get long because he with Man City as well. We went for Man City, if I remember.
Maybe it was Man City. He was only there 44 days. I know he was summer.
Big Paddy, I'll tell you what, see Hug Money, I'm coming out to Ireland to do a quiz with you. Hug Money, mate. I'm coming out to fight you a bit. So we're going down a tune. So that's the first 5 questions, lads. Number 6, lads. Out of these 3 Australians, who has been capped the most? Tom Rogic, Scott McDonald, or Aaron Moy? So, out of the 3 of them, who's been capped the most?
Wild guess.
Same.
And we'll go with you, Andy. We'll start with you, Andy. Who are you thinking?
Going to go with Aaron Moy.
Aaron Moy, mate. And we're going to go with Paddy.
Yep, Aaron Moy for me too, Jerry.
We're going to go with Kaiser.
Same, mate. Moy, and it was just a guess. 1 and 3.
Well done, lads. Aaron Moy, 57 caps. Scott McDonald, 26 caps. And Tom Rogic, 53 caps, lads. For a bonus point, who scored the most goals?
Rogic.
It's got to be McDonald.
So you went Rogic, McDonald, Paddy.
It would only be a guess, Scott McDonald.
Paddy and Andy. Listen, lads, Scott McDonald played 26 times for Australia and scored 0 goals.
Really?
There you go. Yep.
That's surprising.
Aaron Moy scored 7 goals and 57 caps. And Tom Rogic scored 10 goals, lads. Well done, Kaiser.
Yeah.
10 goals and 53 caps, lads. Number 7. I don't know if you want to close for this, Paddy, but I'll let you dictate that. Chris Sutton had 1 season in management, lads, in 2009-2010.
Yeah.
Name the club.
Yeah, got it.
I think you would get that.
I assume I've got it.
Ready to go then, guys up?
Mate, I just don't know. No point just writing down anything for the sake of it. I just don't know, mate.
Paddy.
I went for Lincoln City, Jerry.
Andy.
The same, mate. Lincoln City.
Well done, lads. Lincoln City, yes, I did. That's what I thought. No clue for that one. No clue for this one either, lads. Number 8, lads. Celtic won the league in 1979 after defeating Rangers 4-2. Who received a red card that day? Celtic won the league in 1979 after defeating Rangers 4-2. Who received the red card that day? Think about it.
But, Jerry, was it one of yours or one of them?
What Celtic player? It's always Celtic. I don't bring MD else into this, guys.
I thought you were trying to catch us out there, mate, and it'd have been one of them that got a red
No,
card.
it's a Celtic. It's a Celtic quiz. I don't. Nobody else. I'm not interested in MD else.
79. I'm sure I had a clip of this up once for an intro, did I know? Aye.
Did.
Yeah. Okay.
And we'll go with, start with Paddy. Who we got, Paddy boy?
One of my favourite ex-Celts, Johnny Doyle.
Johnny Doyle, all day long, mate. All day long. Andy.
I've been mixed up with a clip. I was thinking this as well. I'm going, that's before his time. I've put Willie McStay.
You said off at Ibrox.
I know. I knew it was
83 or 84, I think.
Yeah, that's
Johnny
right.
Doyle as well,
I was thinking that's before his time, mate.
Who'd you go for, Kaiser?
Johnny Doyle.
Johnny Doyle, well done, mate. God bless him, by the way, lads.
He kicked me out of McDonald line on the ground, didn't he?
Wee player. Number 9, lads. Who became the first player to win the Scottish Cup for 3 different clubs after lifting the trophy with Celtic in 2007? So this guy's won it with 3 Scottish clubs, Celtic and 2 other teams. And he won it. He lifted the cup in 2007.
What other years did they lift it?
What?
Did they win it before they went to Celtic?
I think he did, and I think he won it maybe after it. I'm not sure, maybe with 2 before. The 2 teams. If I gave you 2 teams, you'd get it straight away. Played under Strachan.
Yep. I think I've got it.
Well done. Well done. Maybe wasn't a big favourite, was he?
No.
He actually won it with, I think he definitely won it twice before Celtic, mate, with 2 clubs. So he did. Then he's won it with Celtic in 2007.
I've got 2 in mind, but I've already wrote it down, so I'm not changing it.
I've got 2 in mind. Fuck now, whenever I think about it.
Had a wee clue again.
I've already got it. I've got it written down.
I can't change it now.
Aye, well done, Paddy. You're an honest man. Honest man. So we're ready to go then. Who are you thinking, Kaiser? You're mute again, mate.
Sorry, mate. Your boy's in the background, so I keep muting it down so as you can do it. I went for Johnny Hayes, my man.
Johnny Hayes, mate. Johnny Hayes, Kaiser. That's a no. That's not. That's wrong. Paddy.
Fine.
I went for Stephen Presley.
Uh-huh. Andy.
In Elvis.
It was Elvis, mate. It definitely was.
Well done,
Rangers,
lad.
Hearts, and Celtic.
Well done,
I
Stephen.
didn't know
Presley.
Elvis. I didn't know Elvis sung that. That's the way. I like. I didn't know Elvis sung
You
that.
did poison
Jerry.
that there. And my wee dad went to Graceland Manchester. He phoned me and I says, "Are you enjoying it, Dad?" And he's like,
Thank you very much, Jerry.
Number 10, the last one, lads. Celtic light system and so-called disco lights made its debut in 2018 in a European tie against which German team? So the disco lights made its debut in 2018. Which German team?
Oh.
I can give you 3 German teams who played thereabouts, sir.
Yeah, please.
He's one of them.
Yeah, give us the teams. Yeah.
So it's A, Bayern Munich, B, RB Leipzig, or C, Bayern Leverkusen. What a night that was, Paddy, remember?
I was going to write one down, and I was waiting till you said the 3, and the one I was going for is one of the 3, so I'm going to stick with it. Don't know if I
Hey,
spelled it
bother.
right enough, but we'll find out.
The spelling's not a big king me on this quiz. We don't bother with spelling. Don't here.
I'm no good at English now. I'm in German.
And I talk the way I write. I don't put any full stops in it. And I just keep leaving my text.
Yep.
So we'll go with you, Paddy boy. Who's your team, buddy?
I went for RB Leipzig, Jerry.
RB Leipzig, Paddy. Guys up. Guys is want to play charades all night, isn't he?
Again, mate, I went for Leverkusen, mate.
It's a movie.
Yeah, later I'll give you one you can all get here. That's for you, Jerry. All right. That
Who you
one's
went
for you,
for?
Paddy, for joining in.
We went for Leverkusen.
Yeah, it's by
Guys
Leverkusen.
Leverkusen. And Andy.
Went for Leverkusen.
Lads, the answer was well done, Paddy boy. RB Leipzig. So the answers were so the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6. 1, 2. So Kaiser was last with 6. Second place was Andy with 7, and the winner was Paddy with 10. Well done, Andy. Well done, Paddy. I'm going Andy. Paddy, well done, mate. Well done with Joseph Weinglass, mate. Different class.
Aye.
Well done.
Thanks
Well
very
done,
much
boys.
for that. And that was again.
It's Jerry's big fat quiz.
I enjoy that. I always enjoy the quizzes, even though I'm rank noting at them. So we've got a game at the weekend, guys. Quarter final, League Cup. We go to Thistle. Paddy, what's your overall feeling getting into this fixture? I think we're on a high note. Now the team are obviously got a good one at Rugby Park in the dying minutes of the game. How do you see this game? You think there's going to be major changes, or do you think he's going to stick kind of overall with his kind of preferred lineup? And do you think there's a feel-good factor in the team, or do you think we're just kind of pushing that a wee bit too far there?
I think you're maybe pushing it, Jerry, around a wee bit, but that's what he's trying for. He's trying to build up a bit ahead of steam now. Listen, what's happened in the transfer window, and Brendan is bang on. There's no point in delay or deliberating about it anymore. It's done now. We didn't sign players when we should have done. The squad that he has available is the squad that he has to work with, and that is it now until January. So this constant going back over, the Kairat Almaty game and the fact that we didn't bring players in, we need to draw a line under that, and we need to get behind the team again, get right behind the squad. I said it last week that without having seen Kelechi Iheanacho and see how fit he was, I said before, we still have the best squad of players in the country. There's no question of that. We're better in every position than every other team. And we're going to get Jota back. We're going to get Alistair Johnson back. We're going to get Anthony Ralston back. We're going to get these guys back sooner rather than later. So what it's about now, last Sunday was a great start. It's about starting to win football matches again. And as Brendan says, that there's a lot of players that we're trying to they're trying to learn the combinations and get to know their new teammates and the way we play. That's going to take a few weeks, but I have a feeling he will maybe make a change or two for Sunday, but he won't stray too far, Andy. This is an awkward game here. It's a potential banana skin for us here. You've got to go out and be professional and go out and do your job. Again, similar to last Sunday, it's very, very clear what we have to do. The object of the exercise is to go to Firhill and get ourselves a victory and get into the next round of the cup, get into the semi-final. That's what the object of the exercise is. So, listen, if we go out there and we be professional and we do our job, even with one or two changes, he might give the likes of Bernardo a run or Luke McCowan or whatever. He might give these guys a run. He might even put Maida out wide, or he could start him through the middle or whatever. But whatever it is, we should have too much for Partick if we do our job right and do it well. And that's what it is. That's what he's trying to do. We're just trying to get a bit of rhythm, a bit of momentum, and get the team firing again and firing on all cylinders the way we were playing. The last thing we want to do is give any encouragement or take the heat off the team across the river. We don't want to take. We want to keep the pressure firmly on them. They have a massive game this weekend, and depending on how that goes, there could be another change there as well. But we're concentrating on ourselves, and I think we go to Firhill and we put on a show and we get ourselves into the semi-final. But it won't be easy, Andy. We'll have to break down stubborn resistance from Thistle as well. But as I say, we have the players, we have the quality, and it's up to us to Sunday now to go and show that.
Aye, definitely. I just want to touch on this because, Kaiser, have you just moved to your left a wee bit? Just move to your left a wee bit?
No, my camera moves itself, mate.
No,
it's like automatic.
If you just move slightly to the left.
What to do?
To the left. Your left. To your left.
You want me to move the other way? Right.
Aye. So you're lining up with that body because Jerry's just the body in the background. Jerry, if you just strap your shoulders down a wee bit, that looks like your body. There, see it on the background underneath you.
That's my body and your body, Jerry. Your Jerry's got a scarf on.
So somebody was saying he's got his arms or some length.
That long Andy Manning, my arms are in the kitchen getting a red wine. Well,
it's carrying it. I was going to say it's carrying all the scarfy pulls, but it's carrying all the bundles of money, mate. That's what it is. It's stretching them out. It's Stretch Armstrong. Kaiser, which are
for the link to sleep out, so I put it in the private chat as well. There, sorry, Andy, mate, if you can fling it in the chat. I don't think it goes in for anybody except one of the admins.
All right, give me a sec, mate. Kaiser, you want to just touch on the Thistle game, and I'll sort this. I'll try and put this in if you don't mind. Good man.
I think it's got to be quite a hard fought game. On Firhill, the Glasgow Derby, one of the only originals that we've got. You know what I mean, mate? I can see Brendan making a few changes, but still try to get the result here. As Paddy says, a potential banana skin for us. Things could fall down quite quickly. I did write down a squad, mate, if you want me just to name a squad that I had picked it. Paddy's Andy's gone. Right, I'm just going to name a squad, right, mate? I went for Vinny Sinny in goals, Donovan, CCV, Scales, and Sriracha, if that's his name, I think it is. McCowan in midfield with Engels and Balak-Wisha. I think Engels is going to play on the right side of midfield and Balak-Wisha on the left side. Forrest, Maeda and Tenecti up front. I think he's got to change it a wee bit, but not too much. And maybe if we score a couple of goals and we get ahead, then he'll bring it back and make a few wholesale changes. Rest players and whatnot, get players on.
Blankety blank, blankety blank, blankety blank, blankety blank, blankety blank.
Right, I tried to add that into the comments. I can't do it, so I'm going to do it manually. I'll put it in the comments once the pod's over. Wait, okay, mate?
Thanks, mate. Not an issue.
I don't know if could you maybe go in via YouTube, and does it work if you put it in as a comment on the pod?
No, mate, it restricts all links taking you away from YouTube or anything like that, unless the owners of the page put it on. So, right. and even then, mate, it's only when your page reaches like a certain level where you're capable of monetization and things like that and posting links.
Okay. Right, we'll sort something out with that anyway. Jerry, what you thinking about the weekend? Anybody going to the game actually?
No, well, that's what I'm saying, Andy. How strange is that? I'll be up there at 10 o'clock Sunday night, pick my mum's sister up, Matty Maggot. She stays 50 yards, so thank God the game's that early. Or even they get up there on the bus, you go to Southampton for the
Aye.
cruise. So, but listen, everybody's got a wee soft spot for the old party, but I'll tell you what, and that's a no bad wee setup. They're playing well and all, but listen, Celtic's got to start. See, we're talking about the boy Donovan coming in and doing well, guys, earlier and that. See, the thing is, but I don't want these guys to just disappear, Andy, when Johnson and they all come back, Paddy, you know. These guys just seem to disappear after doing well. Do you know, so for me, the guys have done well, so stick with them. Don't use them in League Cup games and games that don't mean nothing. For me, give them a chance. So, a wee stuff again, but I think Celtic get the early goal, Andy, Benny Bora, you know, against the Thistle. Just need to try and keep going momentum and getting results and getting wins. We need to start playing better football. So we do. We need to. I said earlier, we need to start moving the ball quicker, getting the ball into the box. We're giving defences time to settle and get themselves organised because we don't move the ball that quick. Any defence that plays against us can easily have got time to talk to each other. So we need to start getting these defenders turning and not giving them time to. So we need to. It's about us, Celtic. Listen, Celtic only beat Celtic this season. It's about us. Anything else? It's long as we'll spoil it for ourselves. But what I would say with Partick Thistle, I mean, when we got to Belfast one time when I was younger and they asked the taxi driver, said to me, what team you support? And I'm like, straight away, Partick Thistle. So the taxi drivers who are there, Paddy, must think Partick Thistle's got some crowd. But then they watch them on a Saturday and there's nobody there. Because everybody goes over there. Everybody goes over there and go, Partick Thistle, mate.
That's because everybody's done know at the game they're in Belfast telling them they support Partick Thistle.
You're here to mention your team, you don't know what you're in that taxi, you know you're going, I support the Partick Thistle.
The last thing you need to say, get into a taxi early and say, I'm a fan of Partick Thistle, and the guy goes, so am I, what do you think about whatever? And you're like,
You players and you started going about Alan Ruffin and all that in the 70s. Yeah, Alan Ruffin, no bad player, no bad goalie.
So, Paddy, what are you thinking for a kind of scoreline on Sunday? You're muted.
Muted. Yes, Paddy's muted.
I think we'll have to break down a bit of resistance from them early on. I think they'll be dogged and they'll be determined to frustrate us and try and keep the game tight. But I think our quality will come through, Andy. So I'm going for a comfortable 3-0 victory for Celtic.
3-0 Celtic. Kaiser, what's your thoughts on the scoreline?
Yeah, mate, while you were away, Andy, mate, because you knocked yourself out in the chat, I just read out the squad that I thought we were going to play.
Oh, did you? Sorry, mate.
And I'll pull back over it again. I think we're going to go with Vinny Sinisalo in goals, Donovan, CCV, Scales, and Sriracha at the back. McCowan, Engels, and Balikwisha in midfield. Play Balikwisha left side of midfield. And give Hatate a rest and give Balikwisha a wee chance to shine, maybe. At the back of Tenecti. And Maeda and Forrest, I think we're going to roll with. And I can see he's getting the job done here, mate. 3-1 I'm going to go for as well. I think that's what Paddy said.
Jerry, scoreline, what's your thoughts?
I'm going to go Celtic 3-1, mate. Well, you mentioned the team there, the Kilmarnock team. You don't know the team, can you? Guessing that team, but I'll tell you, I like Sriracha as well, by the way. So you know, maybe we can always put him in left midfield, Andy, when we play Tierney. I like Sriracha, first game and all, nice, good, steady pro, you know. I like his attitude, but that winner attitude, Argentinian, you know. Uruguayan. You know, that attitude, you know, he's that winner's attitude, I like that. So I do.
Aye. I think Tenetsky was a shining light in that game against Kilmarnock. And I think you look at that situation, you go, if he was brought in earlier, obviously against Almaty, and probably not as important as, obviously it wasn't as important as a game at Snake Mountain, but still could have laid a glove on him and at least threatened him with a player like that. All it takes is one player to really push the team forward as a whole, you know. So one bit of bravery makes the other ones go, right, okay, let's go for it here, you know, let's give this guy support when he's being positive with the ball. So that was a good. I think we really needed that at the right time, and I think he's come in at a good time for the club as well. So I'm looking forward to seeing him again. As you said, Jerry, it's only one game, he said, but I think it's something to look forward to. It's something we look for, especially in a winger, is somebody that's going to be brave and willing to take on players and getting the crowd excited, and not just that, but as well as setting up players, he looks as if he's dangerous himself. That he could go in and maybe score himself. So I think he might have a few goals himself in there as well as assists.
You're right, Andy. See, we just got one that wee bit earlier with the beat Joss's Giants. We should have beat Joss's Giants. Know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sporting Lisbon showed you how to beat. Sporting Lisbon showed you how to beat them last night, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So we're going to hopefully this doesn't hang me all season, because it was a sore one. Let's be honest here. It's like it's like a gamble. You cash out, you don't know what to cash out or no, and you keep watching and watching, you end up losing. As if the Celtic board done that with us, like a cash out gambling. As if we'll beat them, and it fucking backfired. That's basically what I do in my gambling. Well, I take it, well, I know the next minute you don't win it. That's what Celtic board done. We gambled, we failed, and I've not took responsibility for that. That's all. That's exactly what I've done. Take responsibility for it. You know what I mean, mate?
Aye.
Spot on.
Right, that's us, guys. I think we can call it a night there, unless you want to cover anything else. I
don't have a wee share screen there, Andy. I don't know if you can put it up. That's for the, if you see it like on the bottom, it'll maybe say waiting in the background because I'm sharing a screen. There we go here, right? That's it. Sleepout right now as it stands. All the people that have donated, all the legends throughout chat and stuff like that who have come in and donated. Up to £650 raised for the foundation. So absolutely flying. The boys here on chat and that have donated as well. Everybody's got involved. Paddy shared it to his massive Facebook group. A whole lot of support came for that as well. Thank you very much, Paddy.
Yeah.
And as I says, I can't put the links and stuff in the chat, but still the podcast supporting us and letting people know that I'm out there doing this for charity. Fantastic, you know what I mean? And there's another couple of pods that I've climbed on and helped us with as well, putting it out, as well as Paddy in the Facebook group and stuff like that. So thank you very much.
You want to give them a wee shout out, whoever they are, Kaiser?
Well, aye, mate, if you don't mind. Big Baz, for one Celtic fans.
The
main man in Spain with his big baldy head and his specs, right? He's helped us out a big bit. He also gets on the phone, mate, and gives me like impossible missions. It's like fucking Challenge Anakin nowadays. It's like, what, I go up to Celtic Park for the transfer window shutting, and I'm like, right, all right, Ed, mate, I'll go to Celtic Park. For Ibrox to Celtic Park, away I go. I'm live for the transfer window close at an empty Celtic Park. I don't think Michael Nicholson was there, mate. I was there, but and then he phones.
I seen you. I watched you, mate. Aye, I seen you. You done very well.
Batter in that corner, mate, jumping into Ibrox and filming them all greeting and booing. And people were recognising us when I was getting up the hill and like approached us and stuff and that, mate. And I was like, I'm an alcoholic. I'm here for the free booze, you know what I mean? Here for the booze. Here for a good time, not for a long time. You know what I mean? There were plenty of directors doing that bang bus, but the queue was too long, mate. It's shorter queues in Disneyland. I was lining up to get in there. That Stinkfest.
I'm just want to touch on while we're talking about other channels. There's one you need to check out. It's called Channel 67. It's another one from Paul. Go and check it out. The guy is absolutely superb. So check that out. Channel 67. Another one from Paul.
Excellent.
I don't know if any of you have seen it, but it's funny. It's funny stuff. So he's got quite a few bits on there. So go and check it out as well. Who else do you want to talk about?
Mate, that was it. Big Baz, my own channel here in the Full Leaf Clover podcast. My own channel on YouTube as well. I've done a couple of wee lives and that, tried to promote on. And obviously Big Paddy for sharing it into the Facebook group. And that's 60,000 people in that Facebook group there. So that's a gargantuan help. I know the other people, right, mate, as well as the people who have come in and donated. There's been people who have maybe been like, I've not got any money to donate now. I'll donate at the end of the month when I get paid. And they jump in and they go on it and they share it with their friends on Facebook. And that always brings a wee bit of... It always brings renewed funds and all that. It ticks over every day. Like GoFundMe keep extending the target. So the target started at originally £300, mate, and they extended it to 4, 5, 6, 7. Now they've just extended it again to £800. So it's like they never let us reach the actual target. They're always shifting the goalposts on us, mate. But as high as it can go, as high as people want to donate. And as I says, mate, I'll be live on the night. I take the light up suit. And I implement the dad dancing when people donate and that. So I'll be live doing that as well for Inside Paradise. I love annoying people, mate. Take a Bluetooth speaker and I turn it up full blast. get right on people's tits or down at the side of the pitch, try to sleep.
Right, so since you've had a wee shout out and a chance at your shout outs, Kaiser, and Planet Celtic's had a shout out, Jerry McMillan Scaffolding, are you wanting a wee shout out here tonight, mate, since we're on a roll? And if you get enough money, is that what it is?
Oh,
You get
I'm trying to
plenty of
give
money.
me days, man. Give my body a rest, Andy. I don't want to leave. I got that bad. I just want to scaffold in my street. I can't bother travelling anymore.
Just start flinging bricks at people's roofs, you'll be sorted.
I just want to do the neighbours' houses now. And I'm drinking pints of Red Ox and everything now, mate, at night. I'm shut.
Farting bubbles on the way up the scaffold.
Right, okay, guys. Right, well, it's left days. Thanks very much for everybody joining us in the chat and watching us. And Paddy, Jerry, Kaiser, as always, an absolute pleasure. And thanks very much.
Hail, hail.
for
Hail,
your
hail,
time tonight.
Happy birthday, Andy. Happy birthday, big
Thanks
man.
very much, mate. Thanks, and thanks for all the birthday messages. Thank you. Take care. Good night.
Hoopy's going to shite in my sleeping bag. I like it that way, big man. Make sure you get it over a pillar. If you're not being shot on or woke up with a sore arse, you will need to sleep out.
Cheers, folks. Bye-bye.
With a 4-leaf clover on my breast, and the green and white upon my chest. It's such a joy for us to see, for they play football the Celtic way, for they play football the Celtic way, for they play football the Celtic way, 'cause they play football the Celtic way.